Good morning. You have one last assignment that you have to do and then you're done. This last assignment is really about you reflecting about your virtual learning over the fourth quarter. This is going to be printed out on a report and sent home. I'm also going to have a chance to give feedback. So for each one of the quizzes that we took, you are going to be asked to rate yourself on how you did. And in a minute, I'm going to go through Google Classroom and let you know where you can find all those scores, because those would be the things that I would look at when I'm filling out this form. So in the end, you're going to get a report from each one of your classes that will have your reflections as well as your teacher's reflections sent home. And it's not really a report card, but sort of. It shows all the feedback. Now, unfortunately, on this form, it is not in the order in which we did things. So, again, I'm going to show you in Google Classroom where I will look for the grades, but each one of these is based on a quiz that we took. So I'm going to go all the way to the bottom, and it says, this is right here. This is where you're going to talk about how overall how you rated yourself. So feel free to fill this in. This is your opportunity to have your voice heard. This is where you're going to be able to talk about what you felt, how you felt you did. But if you go all the way to the end, this is the first quiz that we took. It was, I can find the volume of a cone, sphere, and cylinder. That was the very first one, and I'm going to show you in Google Classroom where you could find that. And then we did Pythagorean's theorem. Now I apologize, it should say Pythagorean theorem to solve problems. That was the second thing. And then we kind of skip up into here, where we went to factoring. So that's this one. We learned how to factor quadratics. You took a quiz on that. And then we went to describing the important characteristics of a quadratic relationship. That was the next quiz we took. And then solving quadratic equations was next. And the last thing that you just took is expressing inequalities and graphing them. So you're going to grade yourself on how you felt you did. Are you confident? And as you remember, when I score these on the rubric, a 4 or a 3 is confident, right? Because that's proficient or robust. And then if you look at the assessment and you got a 2, that's more like I'm making progress, that's developing. If you got a 1 or a 0 or you didn't take it, you didn't make any progress at all. But most of you are really in this confident part. As long as you were participating, and most of you did, and you got a 3 or a 4 on that assessment, you can put I'm confident in this skill. Okay, so when I go over to the classroom, I'm going to go, if you go down to week 3, it says finishing up volume. Way back on April 8th, we took the volume assessment. So you can go in and you can view that assignment, view your score, and that could help you with your reflection on that. Then, if you go all the way up to our next assessment, was the Pythagorean theorem quiz way on April 28th. So that would be the next thing that you would look at for when you're talking about whether or not you can use Pythagorean theorem. And then we go all the way up to your factoring quiz was on May 13th. So that was the next assessment that you took on May 13th, factoring quiz. And then we go to all the way to Thursday, May 21st. That was your assessment on the different representations of quadratics. And then we go to Monday, June 1st. That was the one you took on Monday. That was solving quadratics. And then the one that you just took on today is the inequality assessment. So those would be the ones that you would be looking at. So again, take your time to do it. Make sure that you're thoughtful. This will be your opportunity, especially when you're writing that reflection. That's something that I can see, that it's going to be recorded in the district and that's going to go home to your parents. Okay. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me. You can do this at any time. I'm posting it tonight so that you can start it right away. The sooner you get it done, the better. And then you are done. This is the very last thing you have to do. I'm proud of you. You've worked hard. I shouldn't say the very last thing. If you haven't done Friday's assignment, that's on solving linear inequalities, or not solving, writing some linear inequalities. That would be the last thing that I'd like you to do, and then you're done. Thank you for all your hard work. Have a great summer.